Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you may be in the world or the country. I'm Tawana Carlton, your host of Soul Cooking with Tea. And listen, if you are not ready, if you have not shared, if you have not told your family and friends about tonight, listen, you have a few minutes to get this broadcast out. Share, share, share. And as our guest, as you can see, is already here. So what we're doing, we are getting ready so that we can share with our family and friends and let them know that we are live here in Soul Cooking with Tea. So get ready. So let me take a moment here. As our guest, you can see in the background, she's getting ready to come live with us. So I'm just trying to go in now so that I can share it out with my friends and family and let them know. I guess I can share it. Maybe I can't. Who knows? But we're going to try. Thank you all for joining us live, those that will catch the replay. Again, I'm Tawana Carlton, your host of Soul Cooking with Tea. And again, our guest tonight is Miss Tiffany D. Kelly, and she is getting ready in the background. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome our guest. Let me get her on so we can share this screen. She's getting ready. Listen, she got her music. She's about to jam. So we can get it going.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. So Tiffany's getting the music going. So make sure I put this in the feed. Listen, we don't hold the rights to any of this music. We just got to get our jam session going. Tiffany has to get in the mood. Listen, she got to get a jam on, and that is exactly what is happening here tonight.
Hey, T, we gotta have some music. We gotta have some music.
Yes. So we have some people coming in. Welcome. And so we just coming in, taking a few seconds to make sure we can share this out. If you would, take time and share this out with your family and friends. You see me looking away because I'm trying to share it out myself with my family and friends. So if you are on here, please take time and share it out, whether you're friends with me on Soul Cooking with Tea or you're friends with Tiffany on all of our platforms. Take time, share it out. Listen, we getting our jam on. So just listen to the music. We don't hold the rights to any of this music.
That's my song because no matter what's going on, we just fine. Just fine. What?
We jamming. Just getting our jam on right now.
Woo! Good party right here. Come on, y'all. Get some chairs. Let's go. Do some chair dancing. Let's go.
Get up out that chair. Get up so you can get moving.
This is my jam right here. This is my signature song. Anytime I start, this is what I'm starting with right here. I love you so, Mary. Thanks for having me on tonight, T. We got a great time tonight.
It's going down here in Soul Cooking with Tea. Yes, thank you all for joining. Share this out with your family and friends. We are live here in Soul Cooking with Tea. Hello, everybody that is joining. I can see you all here on Facebook. Thank you all. I see the messages here on StreamYard. One of our guests says, just jumping on to say hi. I'm in class. Thank you so much. We'll catch the replay. Thank you for jumping on. Make sure you come back in and catch the replay. Gretchen Jones Tarbert says, too cute, Tiffany.
Hey, Dr. Gretchen.
And it's, I hope I say it right, Tanisha. She says, get it in, Kelly. I have some more that just jumped on. Tracy Montgomery. She's here in California. She says, good evening. Celia Hewlett says, good evening. She's also here from California. Jacqueline Turnbow has shared. So make sure you share this out. Hello, Tamara. She says, hello. Hi, Tiffany and T. Yes, the T's are building tonight. Oh, yes. So get your jam on.
Yes.
Yes. So let me get back to where I'm supposed to be because listen, that music got me jumping. I'm ready to get up. Damn, I know I can't because if some of you may not know, I'm in a cast from my knee down, and so I can't just jump up like I want to, but that's okay. That's okay. So again, welcome to another episode of Soul Cooking with Tea. Tonight we have a special guest. We would like to welcome Tiffany D. Kelly. Yes.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Tiffany is our special guest. I'll tell you a little bit. I was, of course, one night surfing as I usually do in the afternoon, and I was surfing through Facebook, and I saw this post about a cookbook, and I was like, "Oh, let me check that out. Let me see, what's going on." And so I just immediately reached out, told her congratulations, and I immediately said I will reach out to you, and I did. And so here we are, just a few weeks later. And so again, I would like to welcome our guest, Tiffany D. Kelly. So if you all couldn't tell from the music, Tiffany is from the Brooklyn, New York area. So that's that Brooklyn thing. That's that, as we say, that's that New York thing going on. So Tiffany is from Brooklyn with a winning personality, as you all can see, and a heart for people. She's a national speaker, coach, author, educator, and media personality. Tiffany is the CEO of Tiffany D. Kelly Consulting, a company dedicated to providing services that help women improve their health. So listen, tonight we're going to learn a healthy meal. So just get ready, get your paper, get your pencil, whatever you need to take notes and get ready. In addition, she is the founder of Fit Teach. You'll find out she is an educator. And so she's trying to make sure that educators are fit, making sure that they are taking care of themselves. Their self is, your self-health is very important. Tiffany is also the author of Lady Power, 31 Mind, Body, and Power Inspirations for the Weight Loss Journey. Listen, we're going to talk about that because I could, as a Southern girl, listen, I'm trying to learn to cook a little healthy. But sometimes I gotta have a little fried chicken, and sometimes it's a little greasy. But that's okay. I'm gonna work on it. This is why we got Tiffany here tonight. And with the weight loss journey, which includes a 31-day inspirations to motivate and encourage women on their journey to a healthy lifestyle. Recently, she published the Fit Teach Self-Care Planner and Fit Teach Self-Care Journal to help educators create a self-care plan for their well-being. Tiffany is also an Amazon bestseller. Let's give it up for that. Woo-woo! And she and a contributor in the book Awesome Women on the Move Inspirational Daily Journal. In September of 2020, she released her first cookbook titled Cooking Healthy with Tiffany, named after her popular live cooking series on Facebook. Again, let's welcome our guest, Tiffany D. Kelly.
Woo-hoo! So excited to be here, Tawana. So excited to be here. So excited.
Yes, we are excited to have you, Tiffany, here to be with us. Again, Tiffany is the author of Cooking Healthy with Tiffany. I have my cookbook, and I know you see my yellow stickers because I got questions. I have questions. So Tiffany's one of her hashtags that she has, you see it scrolling at the bottom. It says, eating healthy does not have to be boring. You get it? Eating healthy does not have to be boring. And so again, we want to welcome Tiffany here, all her family and friends, those that are watching, those that are family and friends of Soul Cooking with Tea. Listen, we're about to get into this thing because listen, I wish I wish I had my meal, what she's cooking, or she was right here, or I was right there, so that I could eat. Because I'm trying not to stand up in this kitchen, but I don't know. I may have to start standing up tomorrow or tonight. Somebody may have to take me to the grocery store so that I can get everything that Tiffany is cooking. So Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn it over to Tiffany. She's going to talk about what she's cooking. And then if you have questions, make sure you put it in the feed. I will see it. But tonight, Tiffany, if you can, tell us a little bit about what you are cooking.
So tonight, hello again, everybody. so tonight, I love when I do these shows, T, because I get to just be myself, like just be silly, just have some fun. And when I cook, one of my coaches told me that cooking just makes me happy. It's my happy place. And so today I'm cooking one of my favorite meals. I posted, I think, on Facebook last week, some salmon. I'm dedicating this to my mom because my mom always has a joke about how she can't cook salmon. She always has like, make it taste like that, So she always has this joke going with me about salmon. And so because she's a marvelous cook. But for some reason, when it comes to salmon, she always tells me she struggles. I don't know why. So she's tuned in because she says she want to make sure she watched tonight. So
okay, good. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. So and so tonight I'm doing salmon, and I'm actually going to throw in some extras. So not only am I going to do some blackened salmon, but I'm also going to throw in some spinach with it.
Oh, sounds good.
Yes, we got to have that. Those fibrous carbs, we got to have that. So we have the spinach and some mushrooms. And I'm going to also do my famous black rice.
Oh.
We got all of this started in the first place. And we'll talk about that in a little while. And so pretty much, so I'm doing the pan-seared blackened salmon. I think it's on page like 94 of my cookbook. And how I got started with this particular recipe is because I didn't like baking stuff in the oven. Take too long. I don't have all that. I'm a busy woman, and we all busy, right? See, so
that's right. That's right. We want to make something that's healthy and easy.
Exactly. So, and most of the recipes in my cookbook are actually less than 30 minutes. 30 minutes or less. There may be one or two that may take you a little longer, but most of them are less than 30 minutes.
Okay.
So if I was actually, so let me just back up for a minute. So if I was actually cooking this with my chicken broth. So if I was actually cooking this, I just forgot something. I would actually cook my rice first. So this is when I did my if you remember when I did the cookbook launch, my most favorite tool in the kitchen is a rice cooker.
Rice cooker, yes.
And mainly because I can't mess up rice in a rice cooker. And now that I can set it and forget it and continue my journey of cooking, right? And so I'm going to start out with the rice first because it may or may not be done before we get through, but I wanted to show people how this works. So if I'm cooking meals for my husband, shout out to my husband. Hey, Horace, I love you.
Ooh, hello.
And so if I'm cooking something for him or my goddaughter Gigi, love you, Gigi. I normally start with my rice and I set it up. I may do it early in the morning or whatever case may be while I'm cooking or cleaning or working on my business. And so we're gonna start here. And so I have here some lovely black rice, which go ahead.
So let me ask you this, because I know as you're talking about black rice, myself, I have never seen black rice. So can you tell us how and where can we purchase black rice?
Sure. So now, one of my father's friends actually called me last week because she wanted to know where she could find some black rice. So I told her, I said, not from my attendance in one of the grocery stores, but you probably didn't notice it because you weren't looking for it. So now you won't find it.
Yes.
But I actually have found black rice, and like here in Atlanta, we have a place called Kroger.
Okay.
Kroger sells it. Walmart sells it. I bought it in Walmart before. I bought it. We have another store here called Ingles. I bought Ingles. And so it's found and if you go to some of the farmers markets, they may have it, but it's not as hard to find you think. But a lot of times it's because we're not looking for it. How I discovered it is when I was in the store. I'm always looking for something new. Okay, so I'm tired of brown rice. Can I find an alternative to brown rice that's still healthy for me? And so one day I came across the black rice and I decided to buy it and try it.
So do the brown rice, because I know like with white rice, it comes in long grain. So is it a difference with the black rice?
Well, the black, I haven't seen it in a variation.
Okay.
I always see it as black rice. I have not really seen like a long grain black rice.
Okay.
I've only seen it like just black rice.
Okay.
So back, and if you look at my cookbook, I talk about the black rice. It's considered, it was considered the emperor's rice. So in the Asian countries, that like only the high priest, the elites ate black rice. It was known for its nutritious properties. It's actually, to me, an upgrade to brown rice. It's on the same line, but it's like an upgrade. And so, so I'm like, okay, so now it's available to all of us because we are royalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and so, high in antioxidants, the color, as you can tell, you know, it hasn't been stripped and things like that. And so, that's what made me really latch onto it.
Okay.
So, and you pretty much cook black rice the same way you would cook brown rice.
That's what I was about to ask you. Is it the same way? And then my other question, as you're cooking the black rice, does it taste any different from the white rice or the brown rice?
Yeah, it has its own flavor.
Okay.
It's a mildly different flavor, but it has its own flavor. But to me, it's almost like how can I describe it? I wouldn't say nutty, but but it's kind of it has its own flavor to it. And so it also depends on how you season the rice too.
Okay, yes, that's what I was going to ask you about, the seasoning.
Right. So today, for example, I'm using so of course, just like regular rice, you know, for every 1 cup of rice, it's 1 3/4 cups of water, right?
Yeah.
So that's how, well, at least when I cook brown rice, right? So the same thing with the black rice. So I have my 1 cup of water, and so here's my trick to make it give it a little bit more flavor. So I know some people may be vegetarian or whatever. So if you are, you can use low sodium vegetable broth. Today, I normally use veggie broth, but today I have chicken. So bear with me. So I have 1 cup of water, and then I'm going to add 3/4 cups of chicken broth, low sodium chicken broth, because you know a lot of the broths can be very high in sodium.
Sodium, yes.
So to keep it healthy, I sometimes even do no salt if I can find it, but for some reason it's very hard to find the no salt. And so right now I settle for the low sodium. So this is like something I got from I think this came from Kroger. It's like the organic version, free range chicken broth, low sodium. And so pretty much I'll do a 3/4 cup of the chicken broth instead of adding another 3/4 cup of water.
So if we don't have a broth, does it help? Does the taste change if I just use water and I season it, or if I just use water and the broth and seasoning? So which is better?
I like the broth with it.
Okay.
Because it's gonna give an extra kick to it.
Okay.
But if you season it well, you probably won't see a major difference.
Okay.
So, you know, if you season it really good, you shouldn't see a major difference in the taste. But it will. But of course, the chicken broth gives that extra flavor because it has the broth in it and it's being boiled down in it. So it's gonna be it's gonna give it a little bit of an edge up.
Okay, so we just either way, it just depends on what you have in your cabinet. If you don't have the broth when you're getting ready to make it, then just making sure we season it well for a good taste.
That's it. That's all. Absolutely. And so what I normally do is, I'm not measuring right now, but I have one of my favorite farmers market seasons. I use this. You know what's that commercial? I put that thing on everything, whatever that commercial. Yes. And so that's how I feel about this season. I put this on everything almost. Like, I just love it because it has so many different seasonings added to it. And the change, and I don't care. And when you use different foods, it takes on a whole different taste to it. So I add it to my rice too.
So is this your go-to seasoning for everything?
Almost everything. I can't help it. I'm addicted.
Okay. And so what is the name of it again?
So it's like so in the farmer's market, they just call it an all-purpose seasoning, but it doesn't have any salt in it. So it's like they took a bunch of different herbs and they just threw them together. And they call it all-purpose seasoning.
So all-purpose seasoning is what Tiffany is her go-to seasoning for everything. Mm-hmm. So listen, y'all, while you are listening and while you are joining us, making sure you comment, because listen, we have prizes to give away and you never know what we're going to ask, what the prize may be. So make sure you are listening while we are talking here with our special guest, Tiffany D. Kelly, Cooking Healthy. Okay, and so now for those that are maybe just joining us or jumping on, Tiffany is preparing her black rice for tonight's meal. So yes, ma'am, Miss Tiffany.
Yes. So I'm just adding my seasons in. So I love all the different flavors from Mrs. Dash. So I'm adding in some garlic and herb Mrs. Dash. Or I'm sorry, they're now called Dash. Okay. A little bit of ground pepper. This other seasoning that has a lot of garlic in it. It's like garlic and parsley, and I like to add that one to it. I like to add bay leaves to it because the bay leaves also give it an extra added flavor as well. So I add a little bit of bay leaves in there, a few of those. And then of course I add about a tablespoon or really like a teaspoon of coconut oil, or you can use olive oil if you want to. But that's just to keep from the rice sticking to the bottom of the pot. Because we don't want that, right? That's
right.
That we don't want. We want it to be nice and flaky and not stuck to the bottom of the pan. And
so do you recommend that we use a coconut oil when we're cooking the black rice?
You know what? It doesn't matter really. I actually just depend on what I want to use that day. To be honest.
Okay.
Most of the time I use coconut oil, and then sometimes I use olive oil. It just depends on the day. To be honest, I don't have no major preference. I actually kind of just go between the two.
Okay, so coconut oil or olive oil just to keep the rice from sticking. Yeah. So again, welcome everybody to another episode of Soul Cooking with T. We have a special guest here, Tiffany D. Kelly, Cooking Healthy with Tiffany. So if you all have not, Tiffany is still getting everything together and getting the rice together, adding her seasons and everything. If you have not had a chance to go and order your book, I just put the link up so that you can go daretoloveyou.com so that you can get your very own copy. I'm going to show you mine. I have mine. That you can get your very own copy of Cooking Healthy with Tiffany. And while you are there, Tiffany has a code for you all tonight. So the code is COOK. You'll get 10% off anything that she has in her store. So make sure you go by daretoloveyou.com and check out Tiffany's store, making sure you pick up a copy of Cooking Healthy with Tiffany. So go ahead, Miss Tiffany.
So now, I finished with the rice, Miss T, and now the rice is cooking. So I pushed the button down on the rice cooker. And so now I can go about the rest of my, journey of cooking the rest of this food right now. So that's basically getting itself together, getting ready. The button is on, so I know it's now going to start cooking. And so while that's cooking, we're going to move on over here to the next part of our
yes.
So normally, if I was cooking for my family, by now, this will be already done. So I would now I'm gonna cook my salmon. Now cooking salmon on top of the stove is quick. Like I think I timed it. It's like less than 10 minutes most of the time. It's not going. So I consider this one of my quick meals when I'm I'm in a rush and I don't want to have something going to have me in the kitchen long, or one of them days when I'm really hungry, and I need something really good but quick, like the one I posted on. This is what we're gonna do today. Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I like the I had to settle back for the Zatarain's blackening seasoning. Old Bay, their seafood seasoning as well. I miss their brand. They used to have their own blackening seasoning, but I think these two companies might have come together. I don't know, because you don't see their blackening seasoning anymore. And so I use that. Of course, my Mrs. Dash, because I don't cook with salt. So I have that. Of course, my other ones, I'll throw a couple of little bit of this other seasoning that has a lot of garlic and onions and parsley in it. And then of course, my special
all-purpose seasoning.
Yes.
So as you are talking about your seasonings, not to interrupt you, but we have a question, and they wanted to know. Tamara wants to know: is the apron in your store that you have on?
No, you know what? So I have not actually branded this one to sell. I don't know why it's only cooked with. Now I do have an apron that's coming to the store that says "Let's eat healthy together," but I didn't get one that says my name on it. I didn't know whether people wanted my name on the apron. I don't know. So
they're asking about the apron, so that may be something you may have to add to your store.
I have to add this to the store. Okay.
Yes.
Carmen is listening. Carmen, get ready. That's who does all my work for me.
So that's something you have to add to your store because they want to know about the apron.
Yes. But I do have an apron coming out for the holiday.
Okay, great.
I
So
do.
my question, Tiffany, is: do we use fresh salmon or can we use frozen salmon?
So you can use, good question, see. You can use frozen salmon. I just like the fresh one. Now,
Okay,
I used to have a bias against buying the frozen because sometimes it will hold water in it. But I found that if I package it good and put it in the freezer and set it out, it's usually okay. So you can use either one. Because sometimes, like I have salmon I bought in bulk, so I had to cut it up and freeze it and then take it out and use it, and then use it.
right.
And it was fine. So either one works. Either one works. Yep.
Okay, so y'all heard that. You can either have fresh salmon or you can use frozen salmon to make this scrumptious looking. Because I can say scrumptious because I got the cookbook and I see the picture. So that's why I can say scrumptious, because it looks delicious just in the book. And I can imagine just being in her kitchen when she is cooking this, what it looks like and maybe it tastes. So one thing I have to share with you, Tiffany, is that I've never had salmon.
Really?
Never.
Oh.
Listen, being from the South, that was never one of the go-to fish.
Mm-hmm.
And so salmon and since moving here to the West Coast, they do eat a lot of, salmon. And so I go to people's houses and they say, "Oh, would you like salmon?" No, thank you. Because I haven't tried it and I don't want to, when, I don't know. I just, being from the South is just, being a Southern girl is just a little different. And so you don't want to insult anyone. You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So the best thing to do is you try first, so that when you go somewhere and you are invited to eat salmon, then you be like, "Oh yes, I'll have some. Thank you."
Right. Absolutely. But you know what, you're right. So my family is originally from the South. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, but my family is from South Carolina. So shout out to all my family out there. Both my mom and dad are both from South Carolina. So my family, like traditionally, like on a Friday, my aunt Sandra, she would cook fried fish every Friday almost, but it was whiting. So that's all I knew was whiting most of the time, right?
Yes.
It wasn't until adulthood really that I got exposed to the salmon. I think my mother decided to start cooking it one day, and that's how we were pretty much exposed to the salmon. But you're right; it was in the South. It was like catfish, salmon. I know my mom used to cook flounder every now and again.
Red snapper.
My cousin, she would love snapper. One of my cousins, she loved us some croaker. I think it was croaker fish. Yeah. Another one. But we ate a lot of shrimp. Say again? We ate a lot of shrimp. Oh yes, a lot of shrimp. Yes, and of course the crabs. And the crabs,
we didn't eat crabs. That wasn't anything we ate. That wasn't something like crabs, crawfish. You only got that like if I went to visit my family in Jersey. So of course, yes, we had crabs then. But in the South, crabs was not, when I was growing up, that wasn't a big thing. Like we had red snapper, we had brim, they had a fish called mullet. And so those were the different varieties. And like I said, we ate a lot of shrimp. But when you start to travel and you go to family that live out from, that's not from down south, then your eating, you open up. And so my parents, they also ate the whiting, but I didn't eat it because I just didn't like the way it looked. I was always picky about my fish.
Yeah. And you're right. So it's like, and unless somebody exposed you to it, you weren't really like open to like eating it.
Yes.
So I began to explore later on because of like you move different places, you visit different places. Like, okay, I guess I'll try that. Yes. So I'm gonna put this on right now. So I have my pan here, and I'm gonna use a little bit of olive oil tonight. So now I got olive oil, right?
So I'm just going to ask a question. So when you're pan shearing the blackened salmon, you always suggest us that we use olive oil to do it?
It's really, to be honest, it's a preference. Like sometimes I use, I really don't have sometimes I use the coconut oil and sometimes I use the olive oil. So this lately I just been using the olive oil more. I don't know why. I just decided to use olive oil. I don't know. No major real reason.
Okay. So either olive oil or coconut oil or whatever your preference is.
However I'm feeling that day. I like both of them. So I just switch between both of them.
Okay.
So, I have my onions sliced up because I love sweet onions.
Oh yes, Vidalia onions.
Yes. Yes. And so I'm gonna add some onions to this. I love because it's now I love the colors. So I'm gonna add me some. I love having colors. Somebody was laughing at me. I did the cooking show a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about loving pretty food. So I love color. So you'll always see a lot of color when I put stuff online because I love to see colorful foods.
Well, one thing about colorful foods, and I maybe you feel this way too, is that when you see color on the plate, you really want to try it. You want to see what that tastes like.
Yeah.
Like it's more interesting to you. It's just like it invites you to the plate. Like I see the color and I just want to try it. I want to see what that tastes like. I want to know what that's about because for me, it's about color. So that draws me in when I start to see these colors on my plate, like, oh yes, I really want to try that.
Absolutely. So you can see a little bit of color, you can see it.
Yes.
And so here's one of my tricks. So I like to cut my onions up and my bell peppers, and I like to place them on top of, I like to put them first so that way the flavor goes through the fish. I normally season my fish like early, like maybe the night before so it can marinate really good if I have time. If I don't, I just cook like I am now. I season it now and cook it. But sometimes I like to season it in advance and put it in the refrigerator overnight and let it marinate.
Okay.
And so today I have my vegetables cooking on top of it. I mean underneath it, and then I put the fish on top so that way it can cook. And so I'm gonna let it just cook a little bit.
And so how long do we need to shear our salmon?
Say that again. I normally around, I say about 7-8 minutes usually I give it. But this is my demo table, so it depends. But on my now that stove behind me, it's like quick, like it's really quick. But it looks like it's coming pretty fast. So like usually after about 7-8 minutes, it's actually pretty done. It doesn't take that long. It's usually really quick.
Okay, so while you're cooking your salmon, I got a question. What is your one one go-to dish that you could have every week that you could eat?
Probably what I'm making right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I love salmon, even though I usually try to cook it. I try to cook it, eat it no more than about 3 times a week. Because salmon, even though salmon is a fatty fish, even though it's high in omega oils and all that good stuff, but it's also a fatty fish. So I try to overdo it. So I try to limit to myself to about 3 times a week. I'll do it with like spinach. Like tonight, I'll have it on a salad. Sometimes I have like this from the farmer's market that I go to. They have like these pita breads that they make from scratch. And sometimes I'll actually put one of those in the oven and like then get warm, and I'll slice it in half, and I'll take the salmon and chop it up and put lettuce with it or more spinach with it, and I'll eat it as a sandwich. So there's different things I do with it, but yeah, I love me some salmon. Definitely.
One of our guests tonight says you eat with your eyes first. Yes, I do. I eat with my eyes. I'm always looking at my food first, trying to see what is going on. So yes, I do eat with my eyes first. I've really noticed that lately. I'm watching and looking to see with my eyes. So thank you again for those that are just coming in. I am Tawana Carlton. I am the host of Soul Cooking with T. And tonight we have a special guest. It's Tiffany here. One thing we at Soul Cooking with T believe it is time to bring our families back to the table. With so much going on in the world or the country. And in this time. And so we are so glad and thankful to have Tiffany come on tonight to talk about her cookbook and to give us a demonstration. She's fixing blackened salmon, pan-seared blackened salmon with black rice. Also, we're just, thankful that she agreed to come on to be our guest tonight. We thank you all for joining us live. Someone says, Brittany says, looking great, boo. So again, we thank you all for joining us. Tiffany, somebody on her name is Brittany says, looking great, boo.
Thank you, boo. That's my coworker.
Okay.
I know exactly what that is.
Yes, so thank you all for joining us tonight. So one question, Tiffany, as you're working on your salmon. What was it that you decided that you wanted to do a cookbook, that you wanted to do a healthy, cooking healthy cookbook?
Well, I have my own journey. I used to be 260 plus pounds. I was on meds for high blood pressure. My pressure was really out of control. And what happened, it's always like a journey. Like, you know how you in something, you're doing something, but you don't even know how God's going to use you.
Right.
What happened with this cookbook? So like all these years, you know, I would when I was telling a story before about how when I first started my journey, my trainer gave me this meal plan. So you know, I looked at the meal plan, I'm like, she joking, right? Like, I'm a big girl. Like, I don't want to eat.
That's right. Who eating this?
What is this? Like, and so I was like, okay, Tiff, I'm committed because I gotta get this weight off of me. I had already lost about 30 pounds on my own, and so when I came to how I was pushing about 230-ish, and so I was like, okay, so I gotta do this. So, but I gotta make this work for me though. And so what I would do is like, she said, okay, I had to have like 4 ounces of chicken breast. Okay, well, she didn't tell me that my chicken breast, she didn't tell me how I had to cook it. So I found me some like Mrs. Dash. So I would have garlic and herb chicken. Then Mrs. Dash came out because, you know, I used to love me some lemon pepper wings, right? I got introduced to those down here in Georgia. And so I was, okay, well, if I'm gonna eat healthy, it gotta taste good. I'm sorry, because I ain't gonna be able to stick to this. And so what ended up happening is I had 5 days a week to eat this chicken. So I would have like lemon pepper chicken, salt-free, garlic and herb chicken, onion and something else chicken. Like it was all cooked like different ways. Like it's so like so I was like, it's like tricking yourself that you actually, you know, are eating something different, even though it's the same.
Yes. So you just gave it a different flavor.
Right. And so that was how I got started. And then like as I reached my goal, I became really savvy with it. So like I would doctor up my oatmeals and everything else. I would do all kinds of different things. And so it ended up being where people started asking me, so how do you do this? And how do you do that? And so I would just start sharing. And I started writing these little recipes down. I would send emails to friends and give the recipe away. And so fast forward a little bit, after I started losing all the weight, I would share my stuff and have a little mini workshops about, you know, after I launched my company in 2014, I would do these workshops on healthy eating and meal prep, because they used to call me the meal prep queen. So they would call me the meal prep queen, and I would have all these different meals I would post on Facebook and how I cooked this meal. And they were like, how she do all that? And so I decided to do this workshop. And that was like the first time I really got exposed to cooking for other people. So like this other recipe in the book called the turmeric brown rice. And that turmeric brown rice ended up, hold on one second. The turmeric brown rice ended up being a hit. So I had friends who were cooking it before the cookbook even came out. They were cooking it for years. And so back in 2018, when I started cooking, I cooked this black rice recipe for the first time, and I posted on Facebook. And people were like, what is black rice? What is that? And so that's pretty much, I'm adding my mushrooms, y'all. So this is how I save time. So I cook everything in the same pan. So I'm going to add these mushrooms. And while this fish continues to cook, this pan here is really a little different today because usually it's like it's taking up all the stuff in the oil of it. Like. But anyway, I'm going to keep going. I digress. And then what I normally do to keep this all as one meal, I'm going to put all of it in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this I usually shred up some spinach. I'm going to add it in the same pot. Because you don't want spinach to cook all the way, because then we cook the nutrients out of it. You want it to steam. So what I'm going to do is, this has already been, it's been washed and it's been shredded. So it has water on it. I may add a little bit of water today because I think that this pan is taking up my water. So, but I normally put it together. Add the steam from the pot. Pretty much cook it.
Oh, that's good. That is good. I'm already like, oh, can I just catch a flight and come to Georgia?
And I put some seasoning over with the mushrooms. I just put a little bit of seasoning over it. I'll give me a top like this one. I'm just going to cover it.
Okay. So you just added a little seasoning to the spinach.
Yep. So
Okay.
I'm gonna let it cook down a little bit. Let me see here. There we go. And I'm gonna let that cook a little bit, and it'll steam down, and then I'm gonna mix it together.
Okay.
So back to the story, right? And I did throw some fresh garlic in there too, by the way.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, because I love some garlic, and it's good for your pressure. And so basically, I started cooking this black rice, and I posted on Facebook, and people were like, black rice. They're like, someone like, what is black rice? Where you get black rice?
Yes.
And they were inboxing me, sending me messages, calling me, girl, what is that? Like, and so from that, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go live. And I'm just gonna go live and show people how I cook this black rice. So pretty much what I did earlier was what I did on this live.
Okay.
And people were like, wow. And so from that, I had so much fun. I was like, so let me see, what else can I cook? I'm gonna go on live next week and cook again. And so I pulled one of my other recipes that I like to cook, and I cooked that one. And then I said, you know what? I think I like this. I'm gonna do this every week. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna be a whole series, Cooking Healthy with Tiffany. And that's how I got started. And so I had about let me see how many episodes. It was 13 episodes total. And what I did was somebody was like, well, you need to write a cookbook. I was like, cookbook? I don't know cookbook. Cookbook? Nah, I'm not doing that. And so they're like, yeah, you should write a cookbook. And I said, then I started thinking, I was like, you know what? I'm giving them away. I might as well write these things, you know? And so I started writing. And what I did was, you know how when you cook this tea, you know, you soul cook. So like when you go cook, like you gotta really think about, okay, what did I put in that? Because you just naturally throw stuff in it. You're not looking at, okay, how many ounces was that? How many spoons was that?
Yes.
So
because we don't measure. We just we just put it in, and that's very true, Tiffany. Because as I was, you know, I have friends like you that, you know, send me messages and say, okay, can you tell me how to make, you know, a cake? And I'm like, yeah, I can tell you, but let me just send you the recipe, because I tell my audience and my family and my friends when I'm soul cooking is that two things: when you're making a cake and when you're making pies, you have to be exactly right with the measurements, because if not, that cake will not rise. That pie will be a mess. Sometimes that pie will be running all over the plate. And so it is true. You have to have the right measurements. And while you were still talking, I have a comment from Michelle. And she says, I've known Tiffany since 2014. She used to co-train me in the gym. She used to share her recipes. And she said she was a beast in the gym.
I know exactly. That's Michelle Mama. I know exactly who that is.
That's exactly who it is.
Yes, and she's right. So I used to, because a lot of ladies in that fitness class, my trainer actually, I ended up working under my trainer, and I would teach her Wednesday for 2.5 years. I taught her Wednesday fitness class, and I never was absent for 2.5 years.
Wow.
Because I felt like, you know, when I dedicate to do something for someone, I try my best to be a woman of my word. If you depend on me, I'm gonna make sure that I show up. And so, so I enjoyed it. So the ladies and I would have conversations after Wednesday night fitness class. And so we would talk about food, and they said, well, Tiffany, how do you cook this? And what I said, girl, I'll bring you that recipe next week, no problem. Or Betty, I can email it to you or whatever. And so I was already doing this before and just didn't even know. And so so after doing the cooking show, I went back and watched all my videos, because when I did the cooking show, I had to know to be able to share with the audience so that they could effectively execute the recipes. They had to know how much was in each ingredient. So basically my videos helped me write the book, because I went back and sat down with a notebook and I would write down all the recipe, all the different measurements, and then I was able to now transfer it to the actual cookbook manuscript. And that's how I started.
Yeah, because that's what we do as chefs and cooks, is that we don't really take time to think about the measurements because we know how much we need.
Yeah.
We know how much it takes for the seasoning, and that's one thing about being a chef, and that's one thing about being a cook, and it's just and about being in the household or being in a neighborhood where you watch other women cook, and so you're watching them. And so I myself learned a lot from the women in my neighborhood, my grandmother, my mother, and you would just sit and watch. I don't know about you, Tiffany, but being from the South, you didn't interrupt them when they were cooking. And so you would just be in the kitchen just watching what they were doing. Now, after they had finished and everything was done and you had ate, maybe a day or so later, you may ask, well, how much of this did you put in? Or how much of that did you put in? And so, you had to pick your time to kind of ask those questions because as a Southerner, some Southerners won't share their recipes with you. They won't, I don't care. They'll give you the recipe. They're not going to give you the measurements, but they will give you the recipe. Absolutely. And so I see we have some more people jumping on. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Soul Cooking with T. I'm your host, Tawana Carlton, and here in Soul Cooking with T, we know and believe that it is time to bring our families back to the table. Our special guest tonight is Miss Tiffany D. Kelly. She is the author of Cooking Healthy with Tiffany, and we are thankful that she gave us an opportunity here in Soul Cooking to come on, debut her cookbook, and to tell my friends and family about Miss Tiffany and making sure that they pick up their personal copy. Let me put it where they can see it. Don't need to see my face. They need to see the cookbook. Cooking Healthy with Tiffany. I'll make sure I put the link in here. Dare to loveyou.com, and make sure you use, she gave us a code, a special code tonight. You get 10% off anything in the store, and that includes the cookbook. And the code is COOK. And so again, thank you all for those that are joining us live and those that will catch the replay. Tiffany, we have another message here. It's from Tara. She says, hey, Tiffany D. Williams.
Hey.
And then we have, I want to make sure, I hope I said it right, it's Neffy. She says, we love Tiff.
Yes, I love y'all too. It's funny, Tawana, you talk about cooking. So growing up, I had no interest in cooking.
Wow.
I never asked. I just used to watch. Just like, I'm ready to eat. I'm like, okay, Mom. So you cooking? Okay, Grandma. My grandmother cooked on Sundays. Like it was Easter.
Yes,
Christmas, like we had pot roast, greasy rice, collard greens, red rice, sweet potato pie. Like the one while I was a big girl, like I ate good every week, and then the leftovers was even better.
That's right. You had that on Monday. If you didn't want it on Monday, you could have it again on Wednesday.
Yes, and so when my mother found that I was cooking, she said, "That girl will play some games on me," because I think one day she came to visit me, and that's before I even got into really cooking. And she came to my house. She was like, wait a minute. So you cook? She was like, I didn't know you cook. She was like, and you didn't cook at home. Like I said, well, what am I cooking at home for? You always cooking, so I'm coming to eat with my plate. Like, and so I just enjoyed the food. And so my mother was shocked at how much I knew because I never had no interest, never asked the cook really, just would come and peel some sweet potatoes or whatever, and I'm waiting for my plate, to fix that plate.
Yes.
But what I am, I'm visual. So if I see something, I got it. Just like with my hairdo, my new hairdo I was talking about on Facebook.
Yes.
Like I watched this girl's video and like I watched it a couple of times and said, oh, I got that. So I'm really visual. So with the cooking is the same way. I have watched, if I see it happen 1 or 2 times, I don't even watch cooking shows like that. But if I see it once, I got it. And so that's how it was with my mom. Like my grandmother used to make this famous sweet potato bread. I think Louise and I are probably the only 2 who can successfully replicate her dish. So like literally during the holidays, they asked me to cook that. It's like crack because there's so much sugar in it. So I'm like, y'all going against that is not healthy, but okay.
It's good. I'm quite sure it is delicious.
And so But so when it came to the food in the cookbook, my goal was to make healthy food taste good. And so I literally would think of creative ways to make this dish taste really good by the seasonings or what I add to it. Just doing things that just make you want to eat it. And like, you sure it's healthy? Mm-hmm, it is. Because people want to eat healthy, but sometimes, people don't feel like it always tastes good, or they've had a bad experience with something, and then now they're like, I don't want to ever eat that again. And so I'm trying my best to change the narrative about what we think about when it comes to healthy eating. And so I think I've been successful. I had somebody today tell me they did my salmon recipe, the one I'm cooking today, and she said, "Oh my goodness, it was so good." And so every time I see someone post a recipe online or send me a picture, it makes me smile.
Oh, that's so sweet. So we have more messages. So Miss Gibbs, because I don't want to mispronounce your first name, she said, "I just received my cookbook today from Tiffany, and I'm excited."
That must be Harriet. Is that Harriet?
Yes, yeah. Harriet. I didn't want to mispronounce her name. Tiara says, "Tell Tiffany I love her." Hopefully I did not mispronounce anyone's name. If I did, I do apologize ahead of time.
Oh, you're good. You're good. So this is actually done, Miss T.
Okay, well, all right. We ready to plate and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And after our live, if you could share on our page some photos of what you just cooked, so that everybody can see what it looks like. Listen, like I said, I wish I was in Georgia. I would be at your house right now. We would be doing this live right in your kitchen, because I want to try this black and sheared salmon, and definitely want to try the black rice. Look, I'm thinking right now of who I can call and say, "Can you go tomorrow to the Walmart, to the Target, to whatever the grocery store, and find me some black rice, because I truly want to try this black rice."
And if you can't find it, I did help my father's friend find it on Amazon.
Oh, that's okay. That's the best. I could do that. I could do that. Then.
It's on Amazon. So this is the. So I always like to cook some earlier. So
okay.
This is the black rice that I ordered. I'm about to put it in a plate. So people have jokes about me having a white plate. But you're a cook too, so a white plate will it allows you to see the food and nothing else. Yes. And so that's why if you always see my pictures on Facebook, I always have white plates. This is a new one. I saw this in the store yesterday. I had to get it because it was just cute. It was oval. and so the white plate removes the distraction, and it allows you only to see the food. And so that's why I choose to use white plates. And I'm pretty sure in the people who went to chef school, they probably have a whole nother way of talking about that.
Right. Tiffany, one of our guests wants to know what brand of black rice on Amazon.
So I looked it up for my dad's friend the other day. Let me see. I've tried a couple of brands, and I haven't had any issues. But let me see. The one on Amazon that I like, that we actually, that I told her to use was, I'll tell you right now, hold on.
Okay. So while Tiffany is looking that up, I would again like to welcome you all to another episode of Soul Cooking with T. I am the host, Tawana Carlton, where we know and believe that it is time to bring our families back to the table here. Our guest tonight is Miss Tiffany D. Kelly. She is the author of Cooking Healthy with Tiffany. Tonight she is cooking black. I want to make sure I say it right. Pan-seared blackened salmon with steam. Look at I just all messing it up.
Blackened salmon with spinach, mushrooms,
steamed spinach. Listen, my mouth is watering. I'm thinking about that salmon, and my mouth got watered, my tongue got tired, and just trying to think about, Lord, that salmon sounds so delicious.
So this is the brand right here. I'm gonna go to the camera. I hope you can see it. This is the brand right here. It's called Hinode, Hinode. And this is what the packaging looks like. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay, so it's HINDO, you say?
HINODE. See in the camera? I put it in the camera if you can see it.
No, I can't.
Oh,
so if you could, okay, so if someone
it's HINODE.
Okay, HINDO. HINODO.
HINODE. Black rice.
Okay, DE. Okay, DE.
DE. So HINOD as in like dog, E as in F.
Okay. Okay, rice. Okay.
Black rice, yep.
I'm putting
and another one too that's in a purple bag. That's what this one is. Let me get that one out. I'll show it to you. Hold on.
So I'm putting it in the feed so you can find it on Amazon. HINODE rice.
So this is the one I'm using tonight.
Tamara says I'm ordering it now.
I'm using this one as well tonight. This one I'm using tonight. So either one of these are the two I normally switch between when I use either one. Yeah.
Okay.
But I found though that there are many different brands and a lot of them aren't that bad. So it's not that bad. Yeah.
So we have another guest says, Tamara says, you're so great hosting Soul Cooking with Tea. Thanks for reading our messages to Tiffany. Yes, I am the host of Soul Cooking with Tea. I am a Southern girl living in a big city. And so whenever you want to come over and learn how to make some Southern food, I do try to make it as healthy as I possibly can. But being from the South, sometimes we got to have a little fried, but I do some baking also. So make sure you check us out at Soul Cooking with Tea. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have a YouTube channel. So make sure you check us out. And again, we want to thank Tiffany for coming on tonight, being our special guest, introducing her new cookbook, Cooking Healthy. Make sure I can get it for you all so that you can see it. Cooking Healthy with Tiffany. Make sure you go over to, let me get it so that you know where you can go and purchase your copy of Cooking Healthy with Tiffany, daretoloveYou.com. Make sure you use the code COOK so that you can get 10% off anything in her store tonight. Michelle says to me, T, which state are you in? I am in California, but I am originally from Alabama. I am a Southern girl, so y'all can hear some people say they still can hear my little Southern drag, my Southern twang. So yes, Michelle, I am in Southern California. Matter of fact, I'm in San Diego. I'm as far south as you can go without going over the border into Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh.
Yes, I'm south. I'm as far south as you can go.
Okay, so you don't have to make it look pretty, as I was telling. So this is the pretty, the final piece of it. Let me get my share over here. So this is so now on my show I'm known to be clumsy, so I'm going to make sure that my husband teases me because he says I am clumsy sometimes.
So you go ahead and sit down so you won't fall down.
So here we go.
That is beautiful.
So can you see it? So
yes, I can see it.
Let me turn it this way so I make sure. So there's the black rice.
Oh, that's the black and rice. Yes.
Yeah. Just I cooked some earlier, so I want to make sure I finished it so we have a full finished meal.
Yes.
And this is the black and rice with the salmon. And you can see there's mushrooms in there. Mushrooms over here, some garlic, fresh garlic, the bell peppers, onions in there, and then the salmon on the top.
Yes. So Tiffany, after we do the show, if you don't mind, make sure, if you can, share some pictures with us so that everyone can see what the end product is. Let's see. So it says food looks awesome. I've got to do that recipe next. Lovely. Michelle says, okay, yes, you are very far south of California. Yes, I am. I am far south in California as you can possibly go. Like I said, I remember the first time I went down toward the border, just getting off for a little minute. And I realized I saw the sign that said last exit for the US. And so I'm driving and I'm saying, last exit. Oh, wait a minute. Last exit. Oh, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm about to be in Mexico. I don't have my passport. What am I supposed to do? Because I was on my way to the outlet. They have an outlet that's right at the border. And so I'm trying to get to the outlet. That was always on my mind until I saw that sign and that flashing light saying last US exit. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? But again, thank you so much, Tiffany. Thank you so much, everyone that joined us tonight.
Yes.
Again, we want to thank Tiffany D. Kelly of Cooking Healthy with Tiffany. I'm going to show you the book again. Here it is. And so again, because we've had so many people come on here tonight, we thank you all so much. Tiffany, are you able to go back and see the remarks? Because we do have a prize or two to give away. So we want to make sure we do that. Me and Tiffany have already talked about how we were going to do it. So Tiffany, are you able to see so the remarks, Tiffany, that you see on Facebook are the same remarks that I see here on my screen, okay, on StreamYard.
Okay, let's
so
see.
We just gotta go back. Y'all give us just a few seconds here as we go back. And
hi Jackie, I didn't see Jackie's on here. Okay, hi Jackie.
Yeah, so Tiffany will be able to go back now while she is out from the kitchen. She'll be able to see your remarks. She'll be able to respond because I was just relaying the messages to Tiffany as she was cooking.
It's I guess because it's hard for me to actually see it scroll. Looks like so I can't see all the remarks. I probably have to wait till after it ends to actually see all of them because it's not
okay.
See all of them. It's only
okay. So what we'll do, because like I said, we have some because I missed some here. I didn't even see. I see my friends, my girlfriends. I see one, Angelina Paul. She's from Canada. She said, "Hey, Lady Tawana." I didn't even get a chance to see that. One from Victoria. She says, "Brooklyn, stand up."
Oh, I know who that is.
I did see this remark from Cynthia Vivian. She says, "Waves and good evening." My girlfriend and sister friend and classmate from Georgia was on. So it was just quite a few people were on. We thank you all for joining. So Tiffany and I will go back and through the comments because we want to make sure that and you know what, if Tiffany is available, we'll just jump back on live so that we can give away some prizes because we have a way. Tiffany, unless you want to do it differently, what's your thought? How are we going to do it?
I think we can look through them and we'll see so we can surprise that special someone.
All right, we can do that. That's why I told y'all to make sure you come on with us here live. For those that will catch the replay, we thank you. For those that will catch the replay, making sure that everyone goes over to daretoloveYou.com. Make sure you pick up your copy of Cooking Healthy with Tiffany. And make sure you use the code COOK. You get 10% off anything that's in her store. And that includes her cookbook. And I'm quite sure she'll be soon coming out with her new apron. So make sure you be looking out for that. And for those of you that are new here with me, that are Tiffany's friends and family, I'm Tawana Carlson, the host of Soul Cooking with T, where we know and believe that it is time to bring our families back to the table. And you can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we also have a YouTube channel. Tiffany, please tell everyone how they can stay in contact with you.
Oh, sure. So if you go to TiffanyDKelly.com/cook-with-me, it will add you to my actual special list. Don't worry, I'm not going to send you out 50 million emails every day. But it will actually keep you connected to me so that way when I have special events, you'll be the first to know. Anything related to food and going live or cooking or any special events or products that come out, you'll be the first ones to get it. So that's TiffanyDKelly.com/cook-with-me. because I want us all to eat healthy. So let's eat healthy together. It's just like what Tawana said, you know, bringing families back to the table. So, you know, being able to sit down with each other and eat well, and have some balance, because, you know, soul cooking and healthy cooking, we can have a balance. And so, so I really thank you so much, Tawana, for allowing me to come on your show today and share. This has been so much fun. Thank you to everyone who has showed up today and has been here to enjoy this time together. I really appreciate you all, and thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tiffany, for giving Soul Cooking the opportunity to debut your cookbook here on Soul Cooking with T. And that's what it is also about with Soul Cooking with T. We're about introducing new products. We are introducing, you know, people that we meet along the way. Listen, I can't cook for everybody. So everybody doesn't like soul food. Everybody doesn't, you know, that's not their thing. And so I'm about sharing. And that's why when I saw the post with Tiffany, I immediately reached out because I saw it was saying cooking healthy. That's what caught me about cooking healthy. And that's, you know, one of the things that I try to do when I'm cooking is trying to change up my Southern dishes so that it is a healthy dish. And thank you for saying that, because cooking healthy, soul food, you know, we can make it healthy. And it's just about learning how to do that. And so again, I am Tawana Carlton, your host of Soul Cooking with T. And we have had our special guest, Miss Tiffany D. Kelly, author of Cooking Healthy with Tiffany. Again, we thank you so much. Make sure you pick up your copy. Pick up your copy. Let me show you again. Let me show you. A girl, a woman from Brooklyn, New York. Listen, if y'all did not come, if you came in late and you missed the beginning, listen, go back in, because like I say, you know, those New Yorkers, honey, she was playing that music, she was jamming up in here. So you got to catch it, because she was doing it that New York style. So again, we want to thank Tiffany D. Kelly for giving Soul Cooking with T the opportunity to bring her on to help us learn how to cook healthy. One thing I love that you did, Tiffany, is to show us how to use those seasonings. And so that's a big part, because a lot of times, like you were saying, sometimes people don't like to switch it up because the food tastes bland or they had a bad experience and it didn't taste right. And so knowing that using seasonings is the key to a healthy eating, but having it taste good. Like that to me is like bringing it to the table, because you can bring it to the table, it looks good, but then when you taste it, it has no flavor. But knowing what seasonings to incorporate in different dishes is very important.
Without the salt.
Yes, without the salt. You heard that? That's a big thing for us in the South. We use a lot of salt. So I have tried my best to cut down on the salt, because I'm not a real salt, but I love my seasonings. So I'm about having my food taste good. So again, thank you so much for that, Tiffany.
No
problem. Any last remarks that you would like to say?
I always say this, even when I have like radio interviews and things like that one of the things that we must do is take care of our temple, take care of our bodies. And it doesn't happen overnight. So like, it's introducing healthy options. Even if it's like 3 days a week, you change up what you do. That way you give your body a chance to be able to be well, because each and every one of us has an assignment on this earth.
Amen.
And your ability to fully walk in your purpose, your ability to really walk out the assignment that God has given you, is tied to how well you are.
So
your health is tied to your ability to be able to fully walk out your purpose. And so I always say, don't cut your journey short and cut your assignment short by not being healthy and being able to fully do the things that you've been called to do. Because sometimes we cut our own journey short because we put in our bodies that are not necessarily the best choices. When if we decide to make a change and help, and those changes, like for me, for example, losing the weight and learning how to eat healthier, it allowed me now to do this, which I never put in my assignments. And so being able to change and transform my body and transform my health allowed me to now be able to have a message to the people to say, hey, look, take care of yourself. You only get one body. And there are things that you need to do on this earth, but you got to be well to carry those out. So take care of your temple so that way you can walk in your assignment 100% and help.
Amen. Yes, yes. So we will end there. Thank you again, Tiffany. She has been our special guest here on Soul Cooking with Tea. So have a good and blessed night, y'all. Bye.